Hello, lovelies. It's me. I'm going to do something a little different. Not entirely different. I mean, I'm still going to read weird stuff. It's just, I have something special in mind for this one. See, a while back, I did a reading of this legendary fanfiction, which you can see the name of in this. But while I went back and forth looking at the actual text, I couldn't remember if I actually did it. So I searched my channel, and yes, I did. And I wasn't going to read this. And then I listened to it, and it's awful. And since it had under, 30 views and nobody cared about it, I figured, well, you know what? Let's re-record it. Let's make it better. Let's make it more interesting. Also, I was recording on a potato. It sounded really bad. And there's no background music, and it's that dark era where everything was really, really bad. Anyway, let us no longer prolong the strangeness that is this tale. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, by Squirrel King, this is Half-Life, FullLife Consequences. And if you haven't guessed, I will be reading this in my most dramatic voice. John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, was one day in an office typing on a computer. He got an email from his brother that said aliens and monsters were attacking his place and asked him for help, so he went. John Freeman got his computer shut down and went on the platform to go up to the roof of the building, where he left his motorcycle and normal people close because he was in his office lab coat. John Freeman got on his motorcycle and he said, "It's time for me to live up to my family name and face full life consequences." I don't know why I made him sound like Duke Nukem, but that's the voice we're going with. So he had to go. John Freeman ramped off the building and did a backflip and landed. He kept driving down the road and made sure there was no zombies around because he didn't have a weapon. The countrysides were nice, and the plants were singing, and the birds and the sun was almost down from the top of the sky. The mood was set for John Freeman's quest to help his brother where he was. John Freeman looked around the countrysides and said, "It's a good day to do what has to be done by me, and help my brother to defeat the enemies." John Freeman was late, so he had to drive really fast. A cop car was hidden nearby, so when John Freeman went by, the cops came and wanted to give him a ticket. Here, John Freeman saw the first monster because the cop was possessed and had head crabs. "I can't give you my license, officer," said John Freeman. "Why not?" said the head crab officer back to John Freeman. "Because you're a head crab zombie." So John Freeman shot the officer in the head and drove off thinking, "My brother's in trouble in there," and went faster. John Freeman had to go faster, like the speed of sound, and got there fast because Gordon needed him where he was. John Freeman looked at road signs and saw Ravenholm with sums writing under saying it, "Oo shouldn't come here." So John Freeman almost turned around, but heard screaming like Gordon, so he went faster again. John Freeman drove in and did another flip and jumped off his motorcycle, and the motorbike took out some head crab zombies in front of John Freeman. John Freeman smiled and walked fast. John Freeman then looked on the ground and found a weapon, so he picked it up and fired fast at a zombie ghosts in front of a house. John Freeman said, "Zombie ghosts, leave this place." And the zombie ghost said, "But this is our house." And John Freeman felt sorry for them, for they couldn't live there anymore. because they were zombie ghosts. So he blew up the house and killed the zombie ghosts, so they were at peace. Then John Freeman heard another scream from his brother, so he kept walking really faster to get where he was. Ravenholm was nothing like the countrysides. There were no birds singing, and the pants were dead into dirt, was messy and bloody from head crabs. When John Freeman got to where the screaming started from, he found his brother Gordon Freeman fighting the final boss, and Gordon said, "John Freeman, over here." So John Freeman went there to where Gordon Freeman was fighting. John Freeman fired his bullet from Tegun really fast, and the bullets went and shot the final boss in the eyes, and the final boss couldn't see. Gordon Freeman said, "It's time to end this once and for all," and punched the final boss in the face, and the final boss fell. John Freeman said, "Thanks, I could help, bro." And Gordon Freeman said, "You should come here earlier next time." And they laughed. They laughed over quickly, though, because John Freeman yelled, "Look out, bro!" and pointed up at the top of the sky. Gordon Freeman looked up and said, "No! John Freeman, run out of here fast as you can!" And John Freeman walked real fast out. John Freeman locked back and saw Gordon get stepped on by the next boss, and he was mad and angry. "I'll get you back, evil boss," John Freeman yelled at the top of his lungs. To be continued? And it turns out the answer to that is yes, because there's a part 2, which didn't exist when I recorded this the first time. So we're just going to keep going because this video needs to be longer anyway. Half-Life, FullLife Consequences 2. What has Tobe done? John Freeman walked like the speed of light back to his motorcycle and left behind the bad place behind him. John Freeman had to ride his motorcycle really fast back to the office, but John Freeman's gas ran out. John Freeman jumped fast off the motorcycle and landed on dead people's hands. Gordon Freeman is now these hands. I must kill the next boss and live up to FullLife Consequences, John Freeman said out loud. John Freeman picked up a laser gun and aimed it at the trees to see if he could. John Freeman shot and the tree fell down in front of him. John Freeman seen eggs fall out of the tree and he put them back home safe. These birds don't have to see Gordon Freeman yet. It's not time, John Freeman said to him. John Freeman had to walk faster and was back at his office work and on a computer. He looked on the internet and found the next boss. I know his weakness now, John Freeman said. And after that, he got emails from someone? John Freeman opened up the emails and read them.
Dear John Freeman, how are you? I will miss you at home. Come home safe and soon with Gordon Freeman for the Thanksgiving dinner, love, Mom.
John Freeman looked at it and got sad and yelled, I will kill the boss and Gordon Freeman will be happy soul. Then he turned off the computer and went on the platform again down to his other, more faster motorcycle that had gas in it this time. John Freeman put the laser gun on his motorcycle and his machine gun and his rocket gun that he found on the side of the motorcycle. He went through traffic and went fast, like Lytton, back to Ravenholm, and back to the bad place where Gordon Freeman was. John Freeman went off-road and did backflips and landed on back wheels, but kept going too. John Freeman went really fast again, like before, and soon was back at Ravenholm, but saw more zombie ghosts. John Freeman said to them, Zombie ghosts, I've killed your friends at the old house, and I don't want to shoot your heads. Move near the countrysides. You'll be friends of John Freeman. The zombie Goass said, "No, we will kill you," and walked fast to John Freeman's motorcycle. John Freeman waited until they were in front of his motorcycle and backflipped off his bars and shot heads and below and landed fast to walk where the next boss was. "You'll be one of us," yelled the dead zombie ghost. John Freeman laughed and shot a rocket at them. John Freeman saw the next boss far down the road and walked slow this time. He walked really slow, like a turtle, and sat down on a rock and watched the next boss near the dead last boss where the place at Gordon Freeman was. The next boss was laughing at John Freeman, so John Freeman said, "You'll not laugh at me," and shot a rocket at him since that was his weakness. The next boss died and John Freeman was happy. He walked over to the dead bosses and put them under the ground and planted plants on them, so instead of messy dirt and dark, there was pretty things now to be happy. John Freeman walked down to where Gordon Freeman was lying dead and crushed from the next boss's feet and looked down. A tear dropped out of John Freeman's eye and landed on Gordon Freeman. "You are dead, bro, and I killed the evil boss," John Freeman told Gordon Freeman. Then John Freeman saw something bad. A head crab was on Gordon Freeman. Gordon Freeman standed up and said, "John Freeman, you got here slow and now I am zombie Goast. You will pay." To be continued? So I think there are other parts to this, but I haven't been able to find all of them, so I'm not going to keep going. These are the 2 parts we have so far, and possibly more in the future, but for now, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this dramatic reading of Half-Life, FullLife Consequences, number 1 and 2. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a Ko-Fi, and you can support this channel there, and I have a merch store, so you can buy weird stuff there, too. Also, I have a subreddit if you'd like to send me weird things. I would greatly appreciate it. It's r/Moonhorse Stories. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.